Hi YouTube, it's OBIS here for another sound design tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at UHE's HIVE again, and we're going to be making a deep house inspired bass. And to show you how that sounds like in context, I already have a track I'm working on that I made the bass for, so let's hear it. And with the sub, so it's basically like, like a mid registered bass, and it could be used in deep house, tech house, and any genre, EDM, whatever you want to call it. So let's just do a quick walkthrough. So in Ableton, we are going to press Command Shift T, make a new MIDI track. You could use any DAW, just make a new MIDI track. Go to the plugins, open up a new instance of HIVE. First, what you want to do is go to presets, and you want to open up an initialized patch. Initialized patch. So in my case, I have, some of my presets set up here. I just made this one. Let me throw that into my bass folder. Okay, so you go to user, init, and now you have an initialized patch. Okay. Initialized patch sounds like that. Very boring. So now what you do, go to Oscillator 1. Let's put on 2 voices. We're going to keep it on wide, but we're going to change the phase to reset. So let's copy this bass patch over from my previous example. Just so we can have something in context, we will loop that. Control L, Command L for Ableton users. Okay, so that's what we have right now, and we are trying to get to this sound, which I do have a little processing, which is basically EQ, so let's just turn that off for now. So that's the sound we were trying to get to. So let's start. So what I did is just brought the volume down on the first oscillator. We're going to enable the sub oscillator 1. We're going to enable a square wave. Let's bring up the volume a bit. And we're going to bring up the semitones to a fifth above, which would be +7. If you're not familiar with music theory, look it up. It's really good to know. Okay, so we have that sound. Next, we are going to enable oscillator 2. We're going to turn the width down. We're going to put the reset as well. And we're going to bring down the volume. Bring down the volume a bit. Okay, so we have that. Now, let's do the envelopes. Put the sustain all the way up. Decay, you could leave it as it is. Release, let's increase it. Now what you want to do is start tweaking the filter envelope. Let's bring this down, the cutoff. Find the frequency you want. Let's bring the resonance up. And let's tweak the mod 1 envelope, which is going to control how we want that filter cutoff to open. Bring the decay down, bring the sustain all the way down. Okay, so that's what we have right now. Let's start messing with the effects. Turn on distortion, increase the amount. Turn on the EQ, boost the gain of the bass, and sweep for the frequency you want to boost. Same with the mids and highs. Turn on the reverb. What we want to do is turn the width down since it's a bass. Turn the decay down and turn the size down. Turn the decay all the way down. And just have a little bit mix in there, like, 17 in this case is cool. Then what you want to do is turn on the compressor, make sure we're not clipping, and increase the amount until we get a little bit gain reduction. Just for expressiveness, you can boost the velocity so that when you're inputting MIDI notes or playing it, if you have a velocity sensitive keyboard, you will have the filter cutoff opening and closing slightly differently depending on how hard or soft you are playing your keys. Next, since it's a bass, you could increase the pitch bend registers up and down by 12 semitones or 1 octave. And let's see where we're at right now. Let's start tweaking the cutoff. Okay, what we also could do is change the algorithm. Let's go for dirty. There's clean, dirty, normal. And we're basically there for the most part. One more thing, if you want to make this more for like a... Oh, duh. You want to keep this on mono, it's a bass. Always have your basses on mono. And if you want to make this more gritty or more like a modern deep house bass or future sounding bass, I guess, all you got to do is change it from a saw wave to a pulse. And you could do this cool trick here so that you can actually change the amount of pulse width modulation. So let's hear that. So by doing constant as your first source, or any of these 12 sources that you have, pick the first slot and drag it onto the actual picture of your wave. That would be an easy way. You can also right click and do it that way. I just like the click and drag method in HIVE. And then you could increase or decrease the width of your pulse width. Let's try with some drums under it. Okay, and then what we could do is copy the previous plugins that I had, which are very simple. Basically utility, put it down the width to 0 to keep it mono, put an EQ and cut it at about 90 Hertz, just very basic, and sidechain compressor, sidechain to the kick. Now since I cut out the lows, I made a sub for my original song, and let's just layer that under it. And as you can see, the sub is cutting out all the highs. And there you go. Thank you guys. I hope you learned something. Please like, subscribe, and enjoy. See you next time.